Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Memphis in Minutes. I'm your host, Gene Jackson, your designated driver through the wildest hour of TV in the Mid-South at that time. Kick-Ass Wrestling, otherwise known as KAW, was the brainchild of Terry Golden, which essentially was a Memphis version of ECW, complete with much the same production style. And it was very reminiscent of ECW, but it did have some of its own unique qualities. But this show we're looking at today, this was around the 1-year anniversary of KEW, and this is going to be the July 3rd, 1999 episode. At this point, they're on UPM 30, and this episode leads hard into the whole hostile takeover of Memphis Wrestling attitude that was prevailing at KEW at the time, which also mirrored ECW's constant shots at WCW and the WWF, painting themselves as the underdog, and KEW did the same here, taking shots at their Memphis rival, Power Pro Wrestling, which was over on TV5, being ran by Randy Hales. So let's go segment by segment here and relive this episode of KAW. And if you've seen it before, you can relive it. And if you've never heard of it, we'll hopefully teach you something about it here today. The show opens with a shot of the parking lot where David Jett spots Danny B, the light heavyweight champion. He's arriving with his valet or perhaps wife, or at the very least his girlfriend, Mary. And he's fresh off a wild match last week with Memphis veteran Brickhouse Brown. And so David Jett tries to catch a word with the champ, but before they can get a word in, David then notices someone's over there trying to, as they say, holla at Mary. It's Brickhouse Brown. So Danny B rushes straight over to confront Brick. Brief tussle ensues, and Danny ends up being on the worst end of it. And Brick then leans down to and yells in Danny's face, "I could take your bitch right now if I wanted to." Now, that aired on UPN 30. It's a phrase you wouldn't have heard uttered over on TV5. And if you did say something like that on TV5, you would be feeling the wrath of Dave Brown once we got to the commercial break. I can promise you that. Now, this time, JC Ice, Jamie Dundee, is the ringleader of a faction known as Old School. And they're at war with quite a few people here at KW, but namely the heavyweight champion of KW and also the owner, Terry Golden. But right now, Dundee doesn't have a partner, as David Jett points out that Wolfie D has left KAW. He even slips in a sarcastic, "Wolfie, good luck," with a wink and a nod towards a big moment in Wolfie's personal life at the time. Jett promises that Jamie Dundee has a big surprise coming very soon for Terry Golden. So the two central themes of this episode throughout is this is the 1-year anniversary of KW, and we are heavily, heavily pushing our next TV taping at Spinnaker's, a bar in nearby Jackson, Tennessee. So the first match of the night here on the show, we've got a KAW light heavyweight title match. Danny B taking on the Fabulous Rocker with Lady Vixen. Bell rings and we're off. And these guys know each other very well. Back in this era, these guys, would pair up and they would take a match or a feud all over the place. Sort of how CM Punk and Colt Cabana got their foot in the door a lot of places. Rocker and Danny B did this very successfully themselves, traveling all over the Southeast, sometimes feuding with each other, other times as a tag team. But they worked together a lot, and it showed. This was a good match here. That is until Brickhouse Brown shows up. We're going to keep this rivalry going. We're going to heat things up in this angle by Brickhouse coming in, hitting Danny B with a low blow, and just like that, everything just goes crazy. Brickhouse is mauling Danny B. Vixen is joining in. We're about to get a 2-on-1 here until Tasha Simone hits the ring like a Memphis tornado and goes straight for Lady Vixen. So it's a wild cat fight now. Eventually, we try to get things broke up, but we have no decision in this match, no finish, just the message that Brickhouse Brown isn't done with Danny B, and that Vixen versus Tasha is now a thing here in KEW. So we'll talk a little more towards the end of the show, about some of the rules and some of the things here in KW, things that I liked and didn't like as a fan. If you want to know more about that, I'll put a link in the description. Me and Hellraiser, Buster Johnson, did a review of a KW episode for the Retro Wrestling Show, and we talked at great length, and he was able to provide some insight from his end because he worked for KW. So that's definitely an interesting show. I'd suggest you check it out. Like I said, I'll try to put the link in the description of this show. Next up, we get a vignette that feels like it's reminiscent of early 90s WWF Coliseum video or something. We go and see the Littles, Eddie and Bitty Little, your KW tag team champions, are out playing golf. This is just, there's a lot of Happy Gilmore references in here. And, this is just a silly, low budget kind of a personality profile thing. And, even David Jett makes a crack when teasing it. Is this going to be as stupid as it sounds? So they know what this is. We know what this is. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a good way to get across the characters of the Littles. There's only so much you can figure out about them in the ring or in the course of a 30, 45 second promo. So this is just the thing. You kind of see them outside of the ring. You get a little bit of a feel for the characters and who they are and how they are. I have no problem with this. Some people would say, "Oh, this is silly and it doesn't do anything for the wrestling show," but I think it does something for the character. So I've got no issue with this. And we roll out of that right into a non-title match as the Littles, Eddie and Bitty, are going to be defending against Weed, Easy High, and Dr. Bud Ganja with Hollywood. And Weed is an acronym for something. I don't recall. I should have added that to my notes. But in a future KW review, I will have it in front of me and let you know what Weed is the acronym for. But with, Easy High and Dr. Bud Ganja, I think you can get what they're going for here, right? So the champs refuse to put the belts on the line. They do agree to fight these guys. And this is a wild one from the word go. Within minutes, things are starting to get bloody. We're seeing a lot of high-flying action, not just from Izzy High, not just from Weed, the Littles. Bitty pulls off a big attempt at a moonsault here at one point, but Izzy gets out of the way. And like I say, this one's a wild one. It's weapons and different, tables and chairs and different things get involved. Eventually, Weed gets the win. Izzy covers and they get the pinfall, and so Weed will be getting a title shot very soon against the Littles. And having seen this match, I'm excited to see it. That should be a good one. So we do some more hype for Spinnaker's Bar, the big TV tape in there. And Alcoholic, our referee, that's his gimmick. He's alcoholic. He referees with a beer in his hand. Perfect character for this promotion. And that's my buddy Philip. He's a good dude. I've gotten the opportunity to work with him quite a bit over the years. Great guy. Play this gimmick to the hilt. And it's perfect for, this wild party promotion that KEW is. Why would you not have an alcoholic referee, right? So good stuff here. And we hear a voiceover that teases next week's anniversary special. We've seen some clip from the New Daisy days. We'll see the one-man gang, Sid Vicious, Stevie Richards attacking Terry Golden, and David Jett says there'll be boards, glass, fire, and girls. And now that we're in a later time slot, they can slide a few more of those in. So make sure we tune in for the next episode of KEW because it promises to be everything you expect from KEW and then some. So where are we at after the July 3rd, 1999 episode? On the light heavyweight title scene, Danny B still holds the gold, but he took quite a beating from Brickhouse Brown. That issue is far from resolved. So you'll be seeing those two tie up over that title very soon. Vixen versus Tasha now is officially a thing. So that should bring some wild cat fights, as Joey Styles would say, in the future with run-ins and receipts and all kinds of craziness. Over in the tag division, Weed has made themselves the number one contenders now with this win over the champs in this wild match that we saw on television today. So hopefully we'll find the TV that has that title match on it and check that out, because it should be a good one. Also, JC Ice is promising a shock for Terry Golden. We've seen some of the action between them. I went back and took a look at a match here on this show of Terry Golden and JC Ice. So Ice is, I guess, in search of a new member of Old School now that Wolfie D's gone. We'll see how that plays out. And, at 1 year, KEW feels like it's managed to establish itself here in the Memphis scene, where every match is a Moondogs rules match, so to speak, if you've only watched USWA and Memphis over the years. So I'll be reviewing a lot more KEW in the future. We're going to, like I said, we're going to jump around once a month. We'll do these personality episodes where we talk about one person. And the rest of the time, we'll kind of jump around and do different episodes of, old CWA wrestling. We'll do the Power Pro, KEW, the Corey Macklin wrestling days. Anything Memphis wrestling related we can get our hands on, we'll be doing some reviews of it here on Memphis in Minutes, and then other things we'll be doing longer, deeper dives into. If you're digging these deep cuts, hit subscribe, drop your favorite KEW memory in the comments, and tell me who you want to see next Memphis-wise here on Memphis in Minutes. And I'll be back with you soon for the next episode. I'm Gene Jackson. See you next time.